I mean, you may escape a few times, but one day you're careless and that's the end of you. So we're careful in these areas. In this area too, if I play the fool with sin, you may think, okay, one of these days I'll repent. Let me tell you something about sin. Every time you sin, it becomes more difficult to repent. And particularly after I've known the truth. If I didn't know the truth, then of course I don't even know it's sin. You see, I don't have an understanding. But once, all of you who come here, you know the truth pretty well. You sin and you take it lightly, you sin and you take it lightly. And that's the reason why, after so many years, we find some brothers and sisters here don't seem to have light on their true spiritual condition. That's really sad. And I don't know their private life, but I can tell you one thing when I look at their... See, I've known folks here more than 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And I can fairly accurately gauge their spiritual state just by talking with them and even looking at them, looking at their eyes. But I find that many of them have not grown. They're slidden back or in the same condition. And the reason is in their life, they're not taking sin seriously. That's the main, one would say, the only reason. So I want to encourage you to listen to what Jesus said. Are there only few going to be saved? Strive to enter. Where have you heard an evangelist who's preaching the gospel, telling people how to be saved and telling them, dear friends, strive to enter in through this door? Because there are many here who will want to enter and will not be able to enter. I've never heard in my life an evangelist preach the gospel like that. They always say, it's so easy. Just raise your hand, sign this card, say, Jesus, come into my heart. And look at these fellows, how they live after they've done that. It's a false gospel. I'd rather believe what Jesus said than what all the evangelists in the world put together say. Let every man be a liar, it says in Romans 3:3, but let God be true. And I'll tell you another thing. Jesus said, heaven and earth will pass away, but this word will not pass away. And like you've heard me say often, when the rich man went to hell, do you think he got a surprise? The story of the rich man and Lazarus, a true story. I think he got the biggest surprise of his life, because he never missed a Sabbath at the synagogue. The chief priests told him he was okay because he was rich. And everybody else flattered him and made him feel okay. And when the moment he dies, he discovers he's in the flames. And he said, how did I get here? The bishop was wrong. The priest was wrong. All the preachers were wrong. They fooled me. They didn't tell me the truth. And then all of a sudden he's concerned. You read all that in Luke 16. Oh, I've got 5 brothers. They're rich too, and they've been listening to this rubbish that the bishops and the priests are telling them. Abraham, would you please send somebody to go and tell them? Because I know why I came here now. It's not a parable. It's a true story. Jesus never used names in parables. You read all the 40 parables that Jesus gave, and you'll never find him using a name like Abraham, Lazarus, never. Abraham was a real person. Lazarus was a real person. Rich man was a real person. There's a real man in hell, and who is there even today. And this is what he told Abraham. If Luke 16:30, if someone goes to them from the dead, they will repent. Repent means they will turn from sin. He knows that the only reason why he went there was not because he didn't read the whole Bible. It's not because he didn't go to the synagogue every Saturday. It's because he did not turn from sin in his life. It's an awareness that hits a person as soon as you reach hell.